This is the sweet dulcet rumble of Coffee Pot Bayou Drive. All brick roads, haven't been serviced since the 1700s, and hey, it gives it its charm. Today was a bit of a swamp. Still dealing with some of those fun nonprofit issues. Today we had Deloitte in, two ladies that are working on expanding Deloitte's footprint into St. Pete, and certainly we'll engage with them on a few different fronts. And it's great to have, that's a indicator that we're moving in the right direction when the big firms, big consulting firms are looking to plant their flag here. So it was a welcome conversation. And had George L. Fleming in, who is our St. Pete Press novelist. Did a podcast with him, which will be published on St. Pete Press. And I think headed over to Bob Glasser's place for an OZK cocktail party. He's at Bliss, downtown St. Pete. So I'm on my way there now, and let you know if anything fun happens tomorrow. And that is your boring report for today. See you tomorrow. Just like that, it's morning, the day after. Went on a walk this morning, so I thought I'd recap the party last night at Bliss, at Bob Glasser's place, hosted by OZK. Got to meet George Gleason, who's the longtime CEO of OZK, and got to thank him for all their incredible support of everything that we are doing at St. Petersburg Group and the Catalyst. Really, without them, we'd be in rough shape. So many thanks to OZK. They've just been fantastic from day one. Barclay was there, Alan Randolph, who's great. I'm a big fan of his. Ken Roniker, and it's a good group. It's a good group. And Martha Boden was there. It's always very centering to talk to her. We've, as I mentioned in some previous videos, we've been kind of going through the ringer with a couple of our nonprofit situations, and she comes from a consulting background and is very brave, I guess is the best way I would say it. She's a brave thinker and executes well, but is also really up for innovating, and finding those combinations in an executive here is rare and wonderful. So I always appreciate spending time with Martha, and look forward to doing some more things. We've got a couple things in the works. What we're doing as we go through this exercise is trying to figure out how we can best plug in our business acumen to the nonprofit community, and Catalyst for Good is an attempt at that. I won't get into explaining it all, but for those of you who are familiar, that's taking some of the things we do at Seed Funders and what we do with the startups there and applying them to small nonprofits. And we're on our third and a half now. Hopefully going to go do a similar project with SPCA and Martha, and then roll in a couple other folks like Lariana Forsyth from CASA, and with the theme being how nonprofits in the same area can work together. And again, Martha has some great thought leadership on that, mainly pushing for specialization in her space with animals. You can roll into a situation where there's a lot of different solutions for animals that all are sort of generalists, and they all become adequate to good at everything because they need to have everything to keep their intake numbers up. They need to be able to serve any situation. But the idea is that a better place to be would be if each of these groups specialized. So one could just be the cat expert, and one could be the shy, fearful dog expert, and one could be the large animal expert. And they could still intake through the front door to keep their numbers as they are, but then load balance on the back end so that animals can get to specialist versus generalist, which, obviously, the more specialized you are, the more expertise you have, that's a good situation. So the net to the community would be lots of specialists versus lots of generalists. And on the front end of that, putting the same messages out together so you don't get conflicting messages. And a lot of that, it makes sense. It just takes organizations and it takes the right leaders to jump in and say, I'm gonna participate in that and take a risk in the short term for this long-term benefit. And again, Martha being brave is up for doing that, and I certainly support her in that. Always great to see Jason Mathis. I don't think I ever He runs a downtown partnership. He put on the event. I posted some pictures from yesterday. I don't think I ever come away from him, a conversation with him, not feeling happy or having laughed, which is a great quality and something we should all aspire to. Got to spend some time with Behars and Liz Dimmitt. Got to talk about the factory and Liz's specific project, Fairgrounds. That's on Instagram at _fairground or fairgrounds_again. That's going to be a really big development and a big happening in the Wada district, and I think they're breaking ground on that project in the next week or next month or something like that. And Jordan Behar, I'm putting out there an official challenge to bring your tennis game to the court and face the wrath. So you heard it here. And who else? Mark Cantrell, got to spend some time with him, new CEO of the Florida Orchestra, talked to him about the community calendar and just how we can work to get their mission and accomplished and help them. And he was fantastic to work with, very quick mind, and just gets value, jumps in. Again, I would say early indications are he's got that brave spirit as well, which I just love in the nonprofit space here because we need it. We need really innovative thinkers who can then also back up that innovation and try things. Bob Devin Jones. I mean, when is it not great to see Bob Devin Jones? Bob Glasser, who hosted the party, didn't spend a ton of time with him. He was busy solving the mystery of a dog that showed up on the 17th floor, and the elevator opens right to his condo. There's no hallway, there's no nothing, so it's there, nowhere else. And somehow a dog ended up in his foyer, and so we let it in, and the dog enjoyed the party. And as I left, he was still raging, and I don't know if they ever found its owner, but cute dog, looked well taken care of. So I'm sure it's from someone else in the building. All right, well, tacking this on to yesterday, it's long, but still sledging through a lot of the stuff, getting ready to. Sorry, I was getting a text. The next big thing I'm going to be talking about is the Catalyst and the raise we're doing to try to be prepared to take the Catalyst and grow it and make it bigger, to get heavier with the arts, to bring out things like the community calendar and things. I think that the foundation we've created is incredibly strong and has a lot of its own gravity. Community Voices is thriving, Pitchlist is thriving, Startup Report is thriving, the podcasts are thriving. And so we're going to build on that success. And still working on the revenue model. Again, thanks again to OZK, who's been a huge part of that. But that's what's coming. And some more general stuff too, because I don't know if it's even worth talking about the days all the time, but maybe get through that quick and get some more observational stuff that's more useful to people. But again, I did this as as an accountability check-in thing for myself, and I'm glad that there's even a little bit of interest in tagging along with that. So thank you for that, and onwards and upwards.